fam? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite nephew, your favorite son, your favorite father, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Live For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together and we grow weekly, actually 2 times a week. We come here and we rejuvenate for us to be able to go into the week and end the week on a high note. And we also are able to become better in our present lives. So that is what we do here. So welcome back, my lovely family. I am so happy to see you. You all look great out there. Thank you for being here for the long haul. And to those of you who are new, welcome. Your family now. So you're part of this love fest that we got going on here at Live For You, the YouTube channel. And the whole movement that we got going on in this idea of just being the best we can be. Those of you who watch and don't subscribe, because I have been checking out my analytics, and many more people watch than those who are subscribing. And some of them are repeat watchers. So if you're going to watch, if you're going to come here and spend this time with us, just this short time with us twice a week, you might as well hit the subscribe button. Go ahead. What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. So it's just that simple. And then you're officially part of the family and you won't miss a beat. Those of you who are new to the channel, I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am a certified life and spiritual coach. I own a business. The business is called Live For You Coaching. You can actually find out more about that business and me at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And you can also follow me on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook at Dr. Larry Smith, on both Instagram and on Facebook. All that information should be on the screen for you to see if you want to see it. We have so much going on actually in Live For You, the Live For You coaching movement and everything. We have quite a bit going on, and that's a good thing, because the whole point is for us to grow so that we can help more and more and more and more and more and more and more people. So I just wanted to go ahead and, let you know that I'm preparing certain things. If you go out to the website, you can actually find the business number. So if you need to call to set up an appointment, if you need to, and I may even post it here, it's a brand new number. So if you need, it's local time California, it's a local California number, but nowadays with cell phones we can call all across the country. So if you need to call there to set up an appointment, we can set you up an appointment for a one-on-one with me, or a Zoom meeting if you need to set it up. You can also email me. All the information that you need is on www.liveforyoucoaching.com. So anyway, so I wanted to get in here and just kind of talk about a very interesting subject that was lying on my spirit all day and all weekend. And it is the conversation around forgiveness. Forgiveness, right? We've all know what forgiveness is, because we've either been people who have had to forgive someone else, or we've been someone who needed forgiveness from someone else. Nevertheless, we all are familiar with the act of forgiveness. And the act of forgiveness is just really just letting go wrongs and not necessarily holding someone accountable to something they did wrong to you, to someone else in certain situations, whatever the case may be. But what I've learned in helping many people is one of the main barriers to healing from trauma and moving on to try to live a present life and to be fully engaged and in love with where you are in life and who you are in life is forgiveness. That is one of the hugest obstacles, because a lot of times when we've been done wrong, especially if it's a deep wrong, like an abuse or a violation or a crossing of certain boundaries or whatever the case may be, whatever that wrong we feel as though it has to be paid back. Like the person has to make amends and really, really, really get down and make us feel like they're truly sorry. But I am here to subscribe and here to tell you directly, I don't believe forgiveness is anything that the other person has to do. What I mean when I say that is, when you forgive, it ain't got nothing to do with them. That is your personal work. Forgiveness is a personal thing for each person. I know a lot of people are like, no, I don't agree with that, because that person has to prove to me that they are worthy of my forgiveness, or prove to me that they feel sorry and they're remorseful in what they did, and so therefore I'm not forgiving until they give me that energy. In many cases, if you're thinking that way and if you're feeling that way about forgiveness, then chances are you will never forgive that person. Chances are you will never be able to move beyond, because your forgiveness is dependent on their actions. And therefore, it ain't forgiveness, right? You want to be paid back for what you feel you lost or how you feel you was hurt. You're looking for a retaliation, right? You're looking for retribution. You're not looking for forgiveness. Forgiveness means it ain't got to do with what you got going on over there. I felt wrong by you, but you know what? I'm not going to hold you hostage to that wrong in my life. You're not going to hold my life up in a place where I don't want to be just because I won't let you go from the chains of my unforgiveness. See, forgiveness works as a way of purging. You know, every so often I go on a water cleanse, or I might eat vegetables and fruit and certain things only for a week. It's kind of like a fruit fast or those types of things, or a veggie fast or a meat fast, if you want to call it. And what I've learned is that works as a purification, right? It helps to clean me up and clean me out, and I feel better and I feel lighter and I feel airy, and I'm able to go about the day and the week when I'm feeling just rejuvenated, because I have purged and cleansed myself of all the things that have caused me to feel heavy, the impurities, the fatty foods, you name it, right? That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is literally a self-purge of the pain, a self-purge of the hurt, a self-purge of the responsibility of that other person for your emotions. You are freeing yourself to be able to heal. You are freeing yourself to be able to move forward and live a life that you want to live. But you cannot get on the journey of living the life you want to live unless you forgive. And it's such a hard thing for many, many, many people to do. You have to understand that if you're able to fully forgive a person and let them go from whatever you're feeling, that is a very powerful thing, because what you are doing and saying is that I am in control of my emotions. No one else is in control of my emotions. So when you are able to actually process forgiveness without the other person doing anything for it to be started, you are actually taking a very powerful step in taking ownership and mastery of your own emotions and feelings. Once you get that skill down, no one can make you happy or unhappy, because you realize that all of that is an inside job. And so really, forgiveness works as a muscle training tool, an emotional muscle training tool. The more forgiveness you're able to practice in your life, the stronger and more mature you are emotionally. You are emotionally, because you're able to say, you know what? I am strong enough within me to carry myself through this experience. Why am I saying this? Why is that such an important part of it, that you have to be able to carry yourself through your own experiences to heal? One, not everybody's going to give you the apologies or the remorse that you're expecting. Some people just don't have it in them to apologize. It's just not part of their character. Yes, in a healthy, holistic, happy, full, complete world, we'll all be able to say I'm sorry and move forward, but that's just not everybody's ability. So one, you're not dependent on someone else to do it. And then there are situations like in families where a person has transitioned on out of this physical world, and that apology just will never come, right? In that regard, you will never get that apology, because that person's no longer here physically to give you that apology. So how do you find peace? Do you continue going on with your unforgiveness for someone who's no longer here? Or do you learn to let it go so that you can move forward? Like I said before, forgiveness is a barrier to moving forward and living the life you truly deserve and want to live, and being present. You can't be present with one hand or one foot in the past. It's the same thing. You can't be present and be so anxious about the future. Being present means you are here in the now, in the moment. You are fully engaged in whatever that is for you presently. So in order to be there, you can't be holding on to the past. And so no matter what the situation is, you got to find a place of forgiveness in your heart for that person without anything from that person. Now, I'm not going to pretend like this has always been easy for me. That has been something that I have had to work on consistently, intentionally, the ability to just let go. And not let go in a place of, because there is a difference. And you have to understand that the differences are tremendous. There is one difference of apathy, right? Where, I don't care, whatever. I don't care. I've moved on. I let that go. I don't care about them or that person or this situation or whatever it was. You know what? I'm just letting it go. I'm just moving on. It doesn't bother me. That's not exactly forgiveness. What that is apathy, as I just said. Because what happens is, if there's a moment, like say for example, if you're in that apathetic state and you're just like, I don't care anymore, whatever, and then that person happens to be in a room you're in, or it happens to be a conversation from someone else that comes up about that person, or whatever life may bring, and you hear that person's name, or situations arise where you're in a room with that person, you might have a hard time adjusting and dealing with that, because your apathy isn't forgiveness. Your apathy is just, as long as that person's not in my face and not in my space, I'm okay because I've moved on. No, you haven't. You've moved. You put on your blinders to that person as though they don't exist, but you're just really apathetic. Forgiveness means I see that person whole. That fractured individual is now whole in my mind. So at this point, I no longer wish any ill will on that person. In fact, I want that person to be successful as I would wish on anybody else. I bless and pray for that person just as much as I bless and pray for anybody else. And I'm able to hold that person in a regard that I'm holding for everyone else. I don't put that person, oh, that's somebody who hurt me, so they're down here. No, once I say I've forgiven, for me, that means I put you back to the place in which you are equal to anybody else that I pray for, I hope best for, and all these things for. Because I have let you go from the burden of whatever had happened to me, or you've done to me, or that I felt you done to me. So that's true forgiveness. That's not apathy. True forgiveness means you're not taking up that space in my life anymore, so I can be in the same room with you. Someone can bring you up in a conversation, and I have no visible anger reaction. I might just say, oh, I wish them well. I would hope they're doing well. I don't have to talk about the situation anymore. That's a high sign of forgiveness. That when the situation arises to talk about the situation that happened, that you were offended by, that hurt you, that traumatized you, whatever the case may be, you're no longer going to have the conversation, because that was then. This is now, in the present, and that conversation and those emotions attached to what happened are no longer valid today. That is forgiveness. Now, I know in the back, because there's always naysayers, right? In the back, someone is saying, but does that mean I have to engage with them? Like, what if they're in the room? Do I have to talk to them? If they're in my space, or there's a situation in which that person needs help, do I have to be there for them? Do I have to have that person in my life if I'm saying I forgive them? And the answer to that question is no. You don't have to have anybody in your life. That is a choice that you have. If you want to be around someone who's hurt you, that's your choice. And if you don't, that's your choice as well. So no, forgiveness, you're not obligated to continually allow that person in your life. You're not obligated to continually to engage with that person. The only thing that you're obligated to is to not hold them hostage in your heart and in your mind to that position that they were in their life. Because you have to understand, we grow and we change and we develop. And if you're still mad at somebody for doing something when you were a kid, or if you're mad at somebody for doing something when they were a kid or when they were younger, then chances are you're out of touch with the fact of that person may not even be the person that you were thinking they were, because they've grown up and they've changed. I use myself as a perfect example. Going through my childhood into my high school years and even some beyond, I have very difficult life experiences. I faced abuse, physical, mental, emotional, verbal, I was bullied sometimes as a kid because I tend to be smaller, or I move a certain kind of way that didn't fit into what people felt like a little boy or a man should be. And so I was bullied sometimes and berated sometimes, even within my family, at school and other places. And I kind of shelled off many ways. Yes, I had friends. I had a circle of friends. But I will say in my own mind, I felt like I was shy. Like I had my own little bubble that I lived in. I relied on music. I relied on art. I relied on producing and creating things, just to kind of keep my mind in my own little space. Not noticing how I was really treating the people around me because I was going through stuff. And so I remember a classmate that I had telling me as we were adults that she actually hated me when we were in school. She hated me because I made her life a living hell. Now, mind you, I wasn't trying to be a bully. I was just a tormented kid who probably was somewhat mean. I'm not going to deny that. I had to grow and become a better self and develop. So I probably was mean and if she says it, it had to be her experience of me. And I can't invalidate her experiences of me. So she was like, I hated you. You were mean. You were rude. You bullied me and this. And as I talked to her, I realized she got the me that was broken. And my brokenness, I was trying to break everything and everyone who came around me, not allowing people in. And she probably was trying to be allowed in, and I wouldn't have even noticed. So I quickly apologized to her and said, you know what? I was in this place. And I shared with her my experiences. I said, that's no excuse. I am sorry for who I was. It is not who I am today. And we became friends. But see, for me, I wouldn't have known that unless she told me. And God knows how many other people that my brokenness was causing breakingness in them, or brokenness in them, right? And so the point is, the point is, when we talk about forgiveness, we're really talking about coming from a place of healing. We're really talking about coming from a place of wholeness, a place in which we're decidedly going to say, you know what? I no longer hold you hostage to what I thought of you. I now see you greater than what I perceived of you based on how you treated me. And maybe they're in a different place, and maybe that forgiveness is what they need to move on, or maybe that forgiveness is just the thing that they need to realize that there is good people, there are good people in this world. But forgiveness is for you, and it is for you to move beyond where you are so that you can live present. And I know some people throw in the religious conversation, say if God forgives you, you got to forgive other people. But what if you're a person who doesn't believe in God? And that's okay. I can't condemn you for what you believe. But at the end of the day, if you look at forgiveness as a personal endeavor, as something to build you, as something to strengthen your skill set and being an emotional mature person, there's no need to even religify it. Just being a better person and being more present and being more in the moment, in the present, is one of the benefits you get from forgiving. And there's no way to do that unless you forgive. And so it's important to do that. So I wanted to get on here today and talk about forgiveness. We have really a situation in society in which forgiveness is hard to come by because people are saying you done me wrong, so therefore I don't mess with you forever and ever and ever and ever. And you guys know we've been in that space. But at some point, it has to come to a time to where you say, you know what, I let it go. And you allow people to show up, and you allow people to be present in the moment that they are, and you just continue to do your work, and you do your stuff, and you be as present as possible. And you'll be able to eventually be emotionally mature enough that when somebody does hurt you, you'll be able to tell them directly, that hurts me, that offended me. And so therefore there'll be no need for you to prolong unforgiveness because you've stated how you felt and you were able to fully, comfortably express your feelings as opposed to it being resentment and unforgiveness that lasts for years and years and years. There's forgiveness needed in the world. There's forgiveness needed in the country. There is forgiveness needed in your families, in my family. There is forgiveness needed in all our hearts. And in order for us to be present in the now, not in the past, not anxious about tomorrow, but in the now, it requires forgiveness. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. You guys, I'm so thankful that you guys come and sit with me and chat with me and hang with me and send emails and positive comments on social media and all that. Let's keep this space positive. This is a positive place, a safe space for us to come here and grow. So if you want to know more, you can always go back out to www.liveforyourcoaching.com. Follow me on social media. Contact me in some kind of way. Dr. Larry at Live For Your Coaching. We can set up some coaching classes for you so that you can grow. Whatever you need, the tools are available. You can also get the book, The Freedom Prescription, which is on Amazon right now. Links in the description. All that stuff. Whatever you need, the tools you need, get what you need to be the best you that you can be. And as I always say, I love you with the highest love possible, and I'll see you in the next video.